Good afternoon, and welcome to Across the Desk with Elizabeth Plouffe. I'm here today with Mike Edwards, and Mike and I met through Spark the Change 2 years ago now.
Correct.
And Mike not only works with Lean Into It, which is agile coaching, but he has launched his own consulting business for coaching. So we are here today to chit-chat about, which I don't know much about you in this role actually, which is kind of fun.
That might make you the perfect interviewer then.
It might?
Yeah.
Yay! So we're here to learn today about Mike's coaching business.
Yes.
And how you coach people through business and life development. So welcome to the desk, Mike.
Thank you, and I'm quite excited to be here.
Yeah, and he fixed his hair beforehand.
I did.
So he looks very spiff. Which is part of the goal. So tell me a little bit about you growing up.
Me growing up?
I know, weird question. But
Yeah.
I want to know what you wanted to be when you were a little bitty Mike.
I wanted to be what everybody wanted to be.
A fireman?
Yeah, of course. A fireman, a policeman, a pilot at one point.
Ooh.
I went through all the different normal kid things.
Okay.
What I wanted to be more than anything is free. Free to play, free to have fun. Free to just be out there. Right?
Out
free
there or outside? Or just
outside, yeah.
you're like a
Well,
Malcolm
a little-
Gladwell outlier kind
A
of
little
kid?
out there too, but
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Okay. So what made you decide then? You went from, did you ever pursue one of those dreams? Or at some point you went, not too fond of getting shot or going up ladders. So
Well, the funny part is, I now do wear a police uniform in a volunteer role, playing
Do you?
playing for the ceremonial band of the Waterloo Regional Police.
get out of town.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's super cool. What do you play?
I'm a drummer. So I play percussion,
out!
and on the street I'm playing a street drum.
So sorry about the high squeaky voice there, but seriously, 2 years and that never came up. We sat in a drum circle together.
We did.
You never thought of throwing out there, so by the way, I do this as a side gig?
Why would I do that?
Well, because people do share those things. That's awesome.
Why do you think I ran down to the drumming circle?
Okay, well, I was geeking out too, and I've never touched a skin in my life. Yeah. So, I just figured you were a fellow geek. I don't know. I mean...
There we go. You just learned something new about me.
Did! Oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah, and what I find really amazing is when we practice every Monday night, and I can be having the worst day possible, and I'll go out to a practice, or it might be a performance we're doing, and I'll walk away from that just totally refreshed, right? Like all that bad stuff that happened in the day, gone. So I really have this belief around live music, and it's a lost thing. It's not as popular as it used to be, but live music is a very big part of our lives. And the more we can get in touch with it, I think the better in touch with ourselves we'll become, more in tune with ourselves.
That's I found, and actually I don't think I've written it yet, but so one of the things that Mike and I have done together is called Spark the Change, which we'll talk a little bit more at the end. But at the end of Spark the Change 2015, we had a drum circle, which was fantastic. And I saw things in people I just didn't, in a very positive way, but just, when Jochen got up and he was just, and he's a very reserved man normally, he was just having a fantastic time. But at one point, the leader of the group asked us to do those reciprocal rhythms where you had to be engaged only with the drum in order to participate. And I remember sitting there, and every time my mind drifted to what I had to do the next day or recounting something that I had to do for the reception or whatever, I lost the beat. Every single time.
And how did you get yourself back into the beat?
I said, stop being an idiot and pay attention to the damn drum. And I caught myself because I don't want to, type A personality. I don't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to lead other people off the beat.
Yes.
So I thought, you know what? For God's sake, it's only an hour of your time. Focus on the darn drum. And it was fantastic, like the stress relief.
Yeah, can I offer a different perspective on what might have been
whatever you
happening?
want, my friend.
Yeah, is what you're actually doing is letting go of all the stresses of our day-to-day life, letting go of the
nothing
worries.
about me so far. You know that that's not an easy thing for me to do.
I know that. But isn't it amazing that with live music, with the drum,
Yeah.
right, you're able to let go. It provides that relief.
It forces your brain to not, you have no choice but to only be with the drum
Yes,
or the beat.
yes.
And that I found, I think I'm going to propose to the group that we do that again, but that's another
Oh, we should.
I think
Yeah.
so. It was
Now,
really well received.
Did you notice what I was doing during the drum circle?
You were doing an offbeat or something, I seem to recall.
Yeah, it was actually changing a tempo at which we were playing.
Well, look at you little monkey.
I was slowing us down and speeding us up.
And was that your role intentionally, or is that what you assumed?
I was
during-
just experimenting to see could I do
You
it.
wanted to just mess with people. Gotcha.
Because when I play with the police band,
Yeah.
especially if I'm carrying the bass drum
Yeah.
on the street, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm
Do you
setting
do
a
the
beat.
whole, you can't see me doing this, but I'm
The
whipping my
twirling
arms.
thing?
Do you do that?
No.
I was
All
really,
that
I was really
twirling?
impressed for a minute there.
All that twirly stuff is just show.
No, I
They
know,
don't
but it's
actually
fun.
make noise when they touch a drum. I like to make noise. I like to be heard.
Shocking.
Don't believe me?
I do.
Ask my wife.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm solid. I got that. So growing up, fireman, policeman, whatever, drummer, very cool. And then, at what point, you're looking like grade 11, grade 12. You kind of have to start finding your path.
Yeah.
So what happened then?
I have no idea.
Well, what did you do before this?
I looked around and went, oh, what am I going to do?
Right.
And I picked up computer programming. It was the thing back then. When I started
It's the
high
thing
school,
now.
yeah, well, it is. But when I started high school, we were actually programming. I remember in grade 9, we were programming with punch cards.
Holy doodle.
It's the only time I've used a punch card. In the very next year, then I believe it was Commodore PETs that they got in.
I remember the very first Commodore 64 that came into art class.
Same idea, except it a little upscale from the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Right? And they were networked. And at the end of the desk, or
Was
at the
the
end
other
of the row,
computer?
yeah, no, it was the single floppy disk drive that was the end. And that's how we stored our stuff.
Very cool.
And I guess at the end of high school, I just went, well, you know what? I like doing that programming thing. I'll go do that.
Okay, so funny because another guest started programming, but he went to binary code and did everything in binary code.
See, I never went that far.
Yeah, he's a little crazy pants that way, but
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you both. So you're in that, which I find very interesting because you're a very creative person. So at what point would that have stopped feeding your creative soul, or was the drumming at that point a way to keep that part of you engaged, or did you just decide enough's like where's your enough's enough?
Yeah.
Because you would have been an employee at that point, yes?
Yeah. Well, no, I went to college
Right.
to learn programming.
Right.
And then I graduated from there and I started programming. And it probably took me about 7-8 years to realize that I'm really not passionate about being a programmer.
Right.
I know lots of people who are, and they're incredible when it comes to creating code.
Right.
I wasn't that good.
Not my bag either.
Yeah. So that's when I started going down a path of leading people and managing people.
In that role, or you've now segued?
In the software role.
Cool.
Right,
Okay.
in the software world.
Yeah.
And at one point, I did a stint as an account manager for a company, and had a lot of fun with that. Going around, seeing people, playing golf with them. It was a great time.
Yeah.
But then at some point, I picked up a role in a big financial corporation doing project management. And I did that for about 15 years. I tend to think I was pretty good at it, but something never quite sat right with me, with it. And then after about 15 years of that,
It took you 15 years
took
to
me
figure
15 years to finally wake up.
I'm so glad that I'm not alone in that. I got in trouble for years and years and years from bosses
Yes.
because kind of thought their rules were stupid. Kind of didn't have the filter not to say that. And I always thought it was me, but it wasn't necessarily, well, it was me, but it wasn't, it was just not the right fit. So I'm so glad you shared that.
Well, I was so busy trying to have the perfect job in a big corporation and move up the corporate ladder and
How come?
get ahead. I don't know. That's just what you did.
I'm very glad you said that because you overcame that. So you're now disengaged with...
Well, at some point,
yeah.
I started to realize that all this management stuff, all this project management stuff, all this getting ahead in a corporation was actually working against me. The very act of trying to do that was making me unhappy.
Ooh.
Okay. And I didn't know why at the time, right? I just knew it wasn't right.
Okay.
And so it was about 5-6 years ago now. I finally made the decision. It's time for something totally different.
Right.
And it's time to take that leap off a big cliff. The cliff with the sign on it that says, "Let's be an entrepreneur."
I stood there.
Right? I stood on that cliff and figured out how is it, or what is it, I'm going to be able to do that will allow me to make a living, be myself.
And were you cognizant at that point that you wanted to try and use the skills you'd already built? Or had you just decided, that's great and all, but I want to do something completely, right? Because my E to E journey
Yes.
always had me, because that's how as an employee you're trained, right?
Yes.
Is to always look at building. And I was really stuck in that mindset of, how do I use what I've already done versus doing something completely new? So did you have that as well, or were you building on...
Oh, I was totally there, right? I've got all this project management and program management and portfolio management and people leadership, and I got all these real tactical skills.
Right.
And so when I took that step off the cliff, that's exactly what I did. Now, part of that was getting out from behind being an employee so that it was easy to take that step and make some money and take away that fear all entrepreneurs have called money, right? And it was easy to pick up a long-term contract, like a 1-year contract, that really gave me some seed money to get going. In doing that, I incorporated, and I actually named my company Lean Project Management Solutions. What a mistake that was.
Why?
Oh, because now that I'm where I am now,
Right.
that name is so totally inapplicable.
Yeah, but if that's your corporation name, that doesn't have anything to do with,
But it's not my brand. It's not my identity anymore.
Which is cool. So what's the...
So
moving on.
We'll have that discussion later.
Sorry, there was a very puzzled expression on my face going, well, I don't get it, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I will get it at some point.
Yeah. So, and when I did that, I also started working towards doing more and more agile coaching.
Right.
And so I had this first contract. I was out speaking at conferences. I was doing some blogging. Like, I had a number of things happening that led me towards doing agile coaching.
I'm listening.
So after that first year contract, I picked up the first agile coaching engagement.
Right.
And haven't turned back. And so I always used to say, well, I could go do project management if I needed to make a few dollars.
Right.
Right. I couldn't do that anymore.
Which is good, because you don't want to be caught in that fallback mindset. Because
Yes.
it keeps you, the key word in that is back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was, let me think now, about 2 years ago. So I've been independent for almost 5. And it was about 2 years ago now. I was in a real funky mood. I was ready to quit.
Right.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to go.
But you knew something had to pivot.
Something had to pivot. I was in a bad mood about what was going on. The stupid thing is, there was no reason to be in this mood. I was successful.
Right.
I was making money.
But you weren't happy.
I wasn't happy.
That's a huge reason. To...
Absolutely. So that's where, on a whim, I actually hired a coach for the first time. And it was one of those, what could it possibly hurt to hire a coach? Nothing else seems to be working.
Right.
And it took about 2 months for me to come to realize I was not living as my most authentic self.
You were subsisting.
Oh, yeah. And I had a nasty case of imposter syndrome happening.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was terrible.
I have to introduce you to my friend Monica, because she and her friend do a podcast called Drinks at 6, which is fantastic. And they talked about imposter syndrome. And Monica, I put her forward as a guest speaker for an event with Halton Region, talking to artists who are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
She talked about the imposter syndrome as well.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, she's probably the first entrepreneur who's ever been really, and I mean, this it sounds so silly, but who's ever like come out of the closet on feeling that way. Because when you look at her from the outside, and I would say the same about you, you know your stuff.
Yeah.
Talented, likable, people skills. Like I would never ever look at her or you and ever think that that's what was going on at some point behind the scenes. So I'm stunned that you. Well, I mean, okay, cool, keep going. Look at all the aha moments today. That's bizarre.
So right around that same time, I went off to a conference and heard this incredible keynote. So this is in a period of time where, okay, I've unlocked something. Right? I knew I had this imposter syndrome thing. I was doing some exploration of, okay, where do I want to go with that? And I hear this keynote suddenly, and it was titled The Best Job Ever.
Okay.
It was at an Agile conference.
Best job ever. What would that be?
Yeah.
Ooh, pie taster.
Well, here's the curious thing. Change that. Instead of talking about what's the best job you could have, what would you be yourself inside in that best job?
Happy.
Yeah. Right? It's those kinds of things. So I started to, I internalized it. I watched the recording of this keynote twice afterwards. And she proposed a 5 type exercise where start with what really lights you up. We're like, right, what are you doing when you really get lit up inside? And for me at the time, it was working with teams, helping people. Okay. And so I started doing the 5 why thing. And I get down to a statement of life is too short to be happy or unhappy at work.
Life is too short to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop
we need a new keynote speaker.
Stop
wow.
being so happy. No, but life is too short to be unhappy at work.
Right.
And that was the key defining point for me.
Okay.
It was a pivot point for me. And
are you still at this point in the crux of deciding whether to go back to being an employee or continue on your entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Okay.
And going back to being an employee, there's thoughts like, maybe I should just go pack bags at the local grocery store. Right? I was in
Somehow
that
I don't
kind
see that
of
as your bliss, but okay.
I'm with you. Right? But I was in that kind of mood.
Yeah, I've looked at being a barista.
Yeah. Because wouldn't it be easier?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, because you just... Hi, how can I help you? What would you like?
And I have years and years in retail and restaurant. I served Swiss chalet chicken in the red Swiss Miss.
Do you have a picture of that?
I have too. Which I will.
Yeah.
For you only.
Thank you.
So I have been there where I have thought about, well, I could be a barista.
Yeah.
You know, I could do that part-time and whatever, because that imposter syndrome just starts shouting at you.
Yeah. In a horrible way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the point in time.
So you're not bagging groceries now.
I'm
which is
not
good.
bagging groceries. There was a pivot that happened at that point that kind of locked in.
Right.
And that was the point I said, I know what I need to do. I know what I'm meant to be doing, which is coaching. And so that's when I started the journey of becoming a great coach. Okay. That journey is not done. It'll never be done until I die, essentially. At the time, to kind of show the difference here, before that point, what I was very focused on is how can I make enough money to retire sooner? It was all about making money to retire. I wanted more.
That has never driven me. And that's always been my problem.
Well, it never used to drive me.
Yeah.
But in that period of time where I was in that funky mood and I
Yeah.
had the imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
I was very focused on I have to have more so that I can retire sooner.
No, I didn't. You're right. I did have that. Interesting to note, I didn't have that as an employee.
Mm.
Money was never a driver for me as an employee.
And now?
I'm getting better at it because I used to think it was a big bad thing to want money. I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
like it's a whole nother.
Well, there's a lot of
Podcast.
cultural stuff there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll
But-
have another podcast
Oh, we
on that
will.
one. Yeah.
Because I'm sure a lot of people. But
'Cause-
it's interesting that you said that because
Yeah.
now it's still not huge, but it's definitely when I'm in the bad place of being an
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I definitely go there more
Mm-hmm.
than when, which I guess is a natural reaction when things are going well.
It's also a cultural reaction. There's a book, and the author is escaping me. I wish I had it. Maybe we can include it with the
There you go.
text. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, I've read that.
Yeah. And he talks about being, doing, and having,
Yeah.
right? And in North America, what we typically do is focus on doing so we can have. And if we
I
have,
don't.
we can be something. Maybe you don't,
Yeah.
right? But that's the place I was back then.
Oh no, I've gone there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I
Right.
don't mean that in that way, but
Yeah.
interesting. Cool.
And what we want to do is shift from doing so we can have, because you never really get to the have part of it.
Never
It's a
makes you
very
happy.
vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So you never get to the being happy. So what you want to do is you want to figure out what you want to be first.
Right.
Do that. Be happy. Be free.
Okay.
Be empowered. Be whatever it is that you want to be, and start acting based on that. Doing. And through that, you will start having the thing that you really want.
I had a session with somebody, me giving, not me receiving a session, and it was to go over her resume.
Mm.
And she was at a pivot point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at her resume. She paid somebody to do this resume.
Mm.
I can't tell you the number of times I just about sucked my lips through the back of my head because I was ready to just. I'm going through this. And I looked at her and I'm like, "Did you actually pay somebody to do this for you?" And she said, "Well, yeah." "Why did you pay them to keep you in the job you're in now?"
Yeah.
She said, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "This entire resume is built to keep you in what you're trying to get away from." I said, we're going to put that aside for a minute and we're going to talk about where you want to go.
Mm.
And then we're going to pull out of your resume and your skill sets that you haven't considered and whatever, and we're going to build the resume for where you want to be, not where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And she processed that. And she's like, "I never thought about it that way before." I'm like, "Well, that's why you and I are, chatting."
You know the other problem with having somebody else write your resume is it's not you.
Yes. This
It's
didn't
their
reflect her at
voice.
all. It was so... I said, "You know what? Even after having talked to you for half an hour,
Yes.
like there's nothing of you in here. This is the most generic, flat resume
Yeah.
that 400 other people are going to put in for the job that you don't want in the first place."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh." I'm like, that's what that person was... Either that was just their skill set, which if you can make a living at it, good for you.
Wonderful.
Yay. But they suck at it, and quite frankly, they should want to look at pivoting because this was a really bad resume.
Yeah.
And I think she really... I should check back in with her and see how she's doing. But interesting. Okay. So now you're at that point. So the coaching for
Yeah.
2 years now,
Yeah.
which is
So
cool.
so I remember walking into the first coach training
Right?
session, and it was in downtown Toronto in a hotel room, like in a classroom.
Hopefully not the Toronto Down Valley. But
No, it wasn't there.
sorry. It's okay. Another podcast.
And I walked into the room, and there's a circle. There's no tables whatsoever.
Okay.
And that doesn't freak me out. I teach as well a lot of time in that way. But I remember walking in there and looking at this circle of people and going, "What the heck am I doing here? Right? Is this really the right place for me to be?"
Right.
by the end of that weekend, it was 3 days over the weekend. By the end of that weekend, it was like, yes, this is where I need to be.
Cool.
And so that journey has continued. And I'm at a point now where I couldn't imagine why I would retire.
Because you've found your bliss.
I'm happy,
Yeah.
right?
That's how I feel about At My Office and about MCV Communications.
Nice.
I don't feel the need for it to end right now. I mean, I'm only 2 years in one business and 1 year in another, but it's not a job.
It's your life. Well, we talk about, I just read a blog post this morning titled F this. Family show, so
Yeah.
watch the language. F this work-life balance stuff. There is no such thing.
Oh, baloney.
No. See, when we
I
talk
say
about
baloney.
work and life balance, it's a scarcity concept. It's that we don't have
You're
enough.
scarce of one or the other. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
What if we integrated the two of them? What if we lived our most authentic, most real self? Do the thing that really makes us happy so that we don't have to escape it.
Very true. And I actually was just speaking to somebody the other day, and I'm working on a project, and the person I'm working on it with is an employee of somewhere, and the person I was speaking to was a fellow entrepreneur, and much C-suite, like crazy successful and whatever. But it was interesting because he looked at me and he said, the difference is you and I are entrepreneurs, and we go to bed thinking about our business and we wake up thinking about our business because that's what we do.
Right.
And the person that you're trying to do this project with is an employee. And they can walk away at any time from that job and just go get another job.
Yeah.
You and I can't do that.
So that whole concept of the employee walking away and, it's just a job, that's another whole podcast.
Yeah. I don't feel like this is just a job.
No, it's your life, right?
Oh, that's scary, but yeah.
Well, but
In a good way.
imagine, have you ever been in an office building and just stood in the lobby and watched the people going by?
Oh, yeah.
And what do you see? And what do you hear?
Usually bitching and moaning and angry faces. That's why I used to love taking the train into Toronto.
Yeah.
And people are like, they're in this zone, and not the quiet zone, because I understand the quiet zone, but they're in their zone. They don't look at each other. They don't talk to each other. They're either looking at their phone or they're, inadvertently drooling on their soup because they've fallen asleep. Those used to make me laugh. And I think I've shared this with you before. It was everything in my being not to break into song, just to see what's not in the quiet zone, because I know that's like strictly verboten, but down on the main level, I'd just be like, row, row, row your boat, everybody in a round.
Why didn't you?
Oh, because I'm a chicken shit and I wouldn't do that. But I'd probably have mass revolt on the train and they'd be pressing that yellow strip going, get the crazy person.
Crazy lady.
Yeah. Crazy alert. But I just felt so sad for everybody. Like, what would be so awful about turning to your neighbor for that day and going, hey, what are you up to? Like I said, you're only one person away from something new to learn. And if you have to make that train ride in every day, why not make it an opportunity?
Yes.
To learn from somebody new or learn a new skill or whatever. And I realize that sounds like a lot of effort, but honestly, it's not. And I would rather spend the time, unless the person has bad breath or is stupid. I mean, whatever. But you take your chances. And yes, I can be judgmental, whatever. But what could be the worst that could happen? And what could be the best that could happen?
Yeah.
It could be a whole new opportunity. Or you've only spent 40 minutes of your day, and quite frankly, you got another train ride coming home. So if you want to, stick your blinders on, then you can recuperate from your day and the morning bad conversation then.
And imagine if you could light up that person.
Yeah.
So instead of them having to check out and leave themselves partly at home.
What if you could give them an aha moment?
Exactly.
Or they give you one, or, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you learn a new joke.
Exactly.
or you learn a new.
There's just so much opportunity that's being missed.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's, societal, where we've just been trained not to invade other people's space.
So it's actually become a passion of mine when
To sing on trains?
yeah, to sing on trains. Yeah, you don't want to hear me singing.
Hey man, I know enough Girl Guide songs that I could hook you up and everybody sounds fantastic.
Oh,
when they
see,
sing
I
the
have
songs.
all the scouting songs, so there's probably
Scouts.
overlap.
We can hook up. We can do
Yeah,
that. All right.
but it's become this real passion of mine that in business we have this real cultural thing happening where people need to do stuff like check their emotions at the door, leave their personal life at home.
Which is hard.
Of course it's hard. Actually, it's impossible. We can't do that. I used to ask people to do that. Right back in my project management days, I was really good at saying, okay, so this discussion we're going to have, there's no place for emotion here. Check him at the door.
I would have been that employee sitting there flipping you the bird silently.
And I hope there was people doing that.
Oh, I would have been going, okay, shit.
Yeah.
The subtle finger salute.
Well, because we can't. And yet our whole culture, our corporate environments, our businesses are built around leaving those things behind.
When they make us who we are.
Exactly.
They're probably part of what makes you an effective employee or
Yeah.
what have you.
Yeah. It's here. Here's your employee brain. Plug this in.
Yeah.
Do these processes. Follow these things. Don't do that.
Because you're not a human being and you should be able to dissect your brain and see, now we know why I didn't do well for 20 years. Because
Well,
all the secret bird flipping.
well, and for me, it was 15 years of trying to do that. Trying to
It's soul
unplug
crushing.
something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well put. It's soul crushing.
Yeah, and I didn't get it. And what I'm loving about doing these podcasts is that the more I talk to people, that becomes, especially entrepreneurs, that becomes a common theme.
Mm-hmm.
That there was something about being an employee that just didn't work.
That was me.
But I always thought I was the only one. Because I was always the one in trouble. I was always the one doing things backwards or...
How often did you change jobs? I want to see if you got me beat. What's the longest job you ever held as an employee?
Girl Guides of Canada,
Okay.
4.5 years.
We're about even then.
Yeah, that was the longest because, one, I absolutely adore that organization. I love everything it stands for, and it was really easy to be in the role that I was in, which was dealing face-to-face with the public, talking to parents about the program, talking to the girls, supporting the leaders, working for the volunteers. It pushed every button possible. It resonated with me on a moral level. It resonated with me on a creative level. I love helping people. That's my goal in life.
Yes.
Other than trying not to, the thing we talked about before about not
Yeah.
beating people with a bat. My goal in life is to be happy and to serve others. And I had the best manager in Barb Ishibashi who, here's what I respect about managers. If you're going to stand there and tell me to do something that you yourself won't do, I will probably flip you a not so subtle bird at some point in our relationship. I respected Barb to the ends of the earth because there was nothing that she would ask us to do that she herself wouldn't do. So if we got a huge cookie order, she was right there, sleeves up, helping us unload, pack, whatever. If we had a challenge with something, throws herself right in. And if you went to her with a problem, yes, she could detach and be, logical about it and clinical about it, but you just knew that she was going to listen and respect what you had to say. And then I've worked for managers who, and we've met them through Spark and what have you, that have this idea that they're better than me.
Yes.
And as soon as you come at me with the I'm better than you, we're not going to get along.
Yeah.
Because in any given situation, and this is probably one of the few things from Eckhart Tolle that I actually agree with, you're on a ship. At that point, the captain of the ship is the most important person on the boat. But if we're on land and somebody needs a birthday cake, I then become the most important person in the room because I'm a good baker and I do cake decorating and whatever. And then if we get on a plane, pilots, that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's where a lot of opportunity is missed in companies. The leader
Agreed.
believes that they have all the right answers.
Absolutely. Which
And
is
creates a
never right.
culture where nobody would question that,
Yeah.
right?
Probably has birds being flipped off all the time.
Probably at some level,
Yeah.
right? And there's some people that just thrive on, you just tell me what to do and I'll go do it. And if it's wrong, that's your problem, not mine, right?
I can't do that.
Well, and nobody should be, right? Because now, me, in taking that direction, I have no ownership,
Yes.
right? And it becomes very easy to blame. Where's the results? So as entrepreneurs, as companies, even as big corporations, we want good results. How do you get that when people are
not
mindless?
at the expense of your employees. You want that because of your employees, not in spite of your employees or your management or what have you.
Yeah, I just read a really good book called "Turn Your Ship Around" by David Marquette. Have you ever read that?
Not yet, but that has a song playing in my head right now. But anyway,
What's the song?
what is it? Turn the beat around.
Turn the beat around.
You know that one?
No.
Turn the beat around.
Oh, is this turning
Love to
into a
see
music
it
podcast?
happen. No, that's and I don't.
You're a good singer.
Thank you. Not really, but
So David Marquette was a U.S. nuclear sub-captain. And these guys go to school for a year so that they know their boat front to back.
so they can live in a tiny explodable cylinder.
Yep. and let's put aside all the destructive stuff for the moment, right?
No, as somebody who suffers from claustrophobia,
Oh, yeah. So I'm with you. I don't have
that's a loss of control that would
Yes.
just woo.
I don't suffer from claustrophobia, but I could not imagine spending 3 months underneath the ocean.
I would drop my basket.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So they go to school and they study their boat for a year. And the whole idea is the captain is like the authority on this boat.
That's a dangerous position to be
He
in.
knows every button, every widget, every squeak, everything about this boat. And David tells the story of a month before he's supposed to take command of whatever one.
Right.
The captain of the absolute worst submarine in the fleet quits.
Pardon me? Okay.
And so they say, hey, David, over there. So he's got 1 month to prepare to take over this boat, not 1 year. So he can't possibly know everything about this boat.
But what a great team building exercise.
So what he discovered, the way the Navy taught leadership at the time, very top-down, command and control, exactly what you would think. Captain makes every decision.
Very industrial age thinking.
Exactly. But what he ran into very quickly was stuff like, there's one story where he would be standing on the bridge and he'd say, ahead 2/3. And the executive officer would relay that to the helm, and the helm guy just sat there. And the captain David finally says, what's the matter? And the helms guy says, there is no 2/3. There's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, whatever. There's no 2/3.
Yeah.
But nobody argued with the command that was given.
Well, for the love of Pete, how can you make...
Exactly. But isn't that exactly what's going on out in the corporate world?
Agreed.
Right? I want you to do this. We can, right? Because, our process is broken or whatever. But people don't question it. They just go off, they work behind the scenes, they do stuff under the table. We get crappy results, unhappy customers, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And nobody's speaking up.
So, sorry, I'm having...
How did we get here?
I know. Because what I'm thinking is we've only got about 3 minutes left. And
Oh,
we've had a fantastic...
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think. If I'm trying to remember when we started. We started at 1. So actually, well,
We got a few more minutes.
we have a few more minutes.
Yeah.
But, so part of the goal of this podcast, so I hear what you're saying, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a fantastic story,
Cool.
is to make sure that
Raina's back.
A little bit. Because you can start me on a topic and I'll just go.
We make a good pair.
Except for the fact that we need to,
Okay.
So out of all of this, you've now built this coaching business around, for business and life.
Yes.
And as you said before we started, that business and life are not separate.
Yes.
And as evidenced by the fact that from the industrial age, into the 60s and 70s, I think it was probably more so in the 60s and 70s, where people started to realize that the work method of the 30s, 40s, and 50s of top down, leave your personal life at home, whatever. And I find it really interesting, actually, that discovery was going on, but then you got to the 80s, and somehow or another, that was all touted as feel-good hippie crap.
Yeah.
And got left behind.
And we went back the other way.
I know. It was like Mad Men threw up all over the 90s and 2000s. And so what I'm thinking now is you've learned all these experiences. You've seen what doesn't work for you. Obviously discover that resonates with other people.
Yeah.
So if somebody's working with you now as a business coach, as a life coach, or, I'm assuming that you just address whatever, they come to you with a need. And then I'm assuming that other things come up and what have you. So if somebody's working with you and they come to you with an initial problem, what's your then next step with that person?
So it kind of depends. So I do some work at the team level and the organizational level. And that's different than working with an individual.
Right.
At the individual level, that's where I bring in all the coaching skills.
Right.
So we start by, we'll define some goals. What's going on for them? What do they want to have different? If they could wave a magic wand, what would 1 year look like? Right?
Okay.
What would be different after a year? And then we start discovering who they are. And I get them to discover what is their purpose here. Right? And people will always have this thought around, well, I'm here to be a retailer, or I'm here to be like a job type of thing. And it's like, no, it's something internal to you. What really lights you up? We get in touch with things like values and saboteurs and so on.
Right.
But
when you say saboteurs, you mean internal or external?
You know those little stories you tell yourself that keep holding you back?
I do, the rat bastards? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I call them too.
Yeah.
Right? Those stories make you human, but they also hold you back.
Okay.
And a lot of times, if people can see them, they can put them aside and move around them. And so coaching helps people see them.
Okay.
So seeing what your purpose is, what your values are, because when you can do that, when you can see what really lights you up, it becomes very easy. It helps to make it easier to facilitate decisions. Right? Should I do this? Should I do that?
Right.
It also becomes easier to see, why am I upset about X? Right? Because a lot of times that is you're violating one of your own personal beliefs or values when you get upset. Procrastination, another good one. We're all good at it, right? Imposter syndrome. Whatever it is, it's helping that person become something even more beautiful than they are.
Cool.
To step into something bigger.
Which is a very powerful statement right there. So if you I'm going to go two ways. So typically I'm going to assume that the relationship begins, you do those pieces, you then coach that person through to the outcomes that you've both agreed from the beginning are the ultimate goal, but you're going to have iterations along the way because they may either take on or drop goals depending on what they discover about themselves. And so at what point do you kind of go, you know what? I've done what I can do with you for right now.
There is a natural point where, and it's funny when we reach this point, we both seem to feel it at the same time.
Yeah.
I've noticed that numerous times now, where all of a sudden we go, you know what? Coaching has run its course for now. Or coaching with me has run its course. So I have 2 clients who went on to work with other coaches afterwards.
And I've done that.
Yeah. Well, it shakes things up. It gets you into a different mindset, different
Well, everybody's
relationship.
got a certain skill set, and once you've exhausted that, then it's time to move along.
Yeah.
So is there a time where, because of course your clients have to resonate with your values and what have you, so I mean, are you doing then an assessment with people when you meet them to go, you know what, I'm not sure I'm the right person for you?
Yeah. So I'll take exception to the word assessment.
Oh, sorry.
and that's
target
not about
audience
you.
pursued, yeah.
That's
Okay.
not about you. That's just how it was kind of a visceral reaction
No, that's fair. So
inside me.
whatever tool you want to use.
Yeah,
but-
so I offer free introductory coaching sessions. And I know there's some coaches out there that'll get 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I give as much time as needed. Most times they go like 90 minutes.
Well, it's an important relationship. You
It
want to make
is.
sure that, yeah.
It is. And what I'm finding is at the end of the 90 minutes, it either is or isn't meant to be.
Right.
And we just know it. We just feel it. So probably 2 or 3 out of every 10 that I talk to become a client.
Well, that's good though, because then you know that both of you are getting value out of it. Because you're going to be
Absolutely.
learning from the client not only new skills to deal with whatever they need help with, but about yourself and what you can and can't deliver.
Yeah. You know what it comes down to? I only want to work with people who inspire me.
Or to whom you can be inspirational, or
I think it's a two-way street.
yeah.
But if they inspire me, I know we can create a good connection.
And then reach their outcomes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that doesn't mean they have to be the most highly successful entrepreneur out there. That's not what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with the money, right? Or the physical success.
You have to resonate with that person.
Yeah, it's who they are, right? And what they want for themselves. And what fears they're willing to step into. Because I make them damn uncomfortable at times.
I've got somebody in my healthcare networking group, and bless their hearts, they're all about, Elizabeth, you have this fear, and you need to, and I love them to death. But yeah, I'm not good with that in a public space. So
So that's actually a very important thing too, is the relationship I have with my clients is totally confidential. So there's nothing public about what goes on.
oh no, it's not. It's not. We've
No,
had
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but you just reminded me,
Yeah.
right, that what's going on is totally safe, totally comfortable. And if they don't have that level of safety,
Yeah.
then the coaching, quite frankly, is not going to be effective.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I went to personal share. I went to when my dad passed away when I was 20, and apparently I was angry. Who knew?
Go figure.
I know. So I went and looked into Bereaved Families of Ontario,
Okay.
and knew I had to do something and whatever. There's a point to this, and they decided that I would do well in group therapy. Not a good fit. And I ended up, did not resonate with the group. Could have resonated better with the leader of the group had it been a one-to-one. And it came down to the day where they were talking about the funeral and taking you through, and it had only been, I don't know, like 6 months to a year. So it was still quite raw.
Yeah.
And, everybody's going through their thing and whatever. And I remember sitting there going, there is no effing way on God's green earth I'm having this moment in front of a bunch of people. I have no freaking idea who you are, even though we'd been meeting for, a few weeks. And I went to the bathroom and basically squidged myself under a sink in the corner. And that's where the group leader found me, because there was no way I was having that happen in front of, because it was a pretty spectacular, ugly-faced woohoo experience.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sounds like you were hurting quite deeply.
it was not a great time in my life. So I didn't have that safety. I didn't have that feeling of comfort.
Yeah.
And granted that was an extreme situation, but when you're looking at dealing with pivoting your life, that's another extreme situation. You're making a huge step. And the relationship that you have with your coach is vital to feeling comfortable with going forward with the goals and outcomes that you've decided together.
Correct.
So I find that really fantastic that you make sure that that's there when a lot of people don't do that. Just do what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm the expert.
Yeah.
And you came to me for coaching, so follow my 5 steps with my here and here's my Swami ball and whatever, and you'll do great.
Yeah. Where in fact, we're all experts in our own life.
Yes, we just need to hear that.
Imagine if everybody held you that way.
Oh, we'll have a touchy-feely moment after.
Yeah.
So my last thing for you is relatively new. Is there anything in your list?
No.
We've covered
We're
everything?
good. We're good.
Is there, you're relatively new to having your own business.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. So what are you most proud of so far?
Me.
Awesome. Well, what about you?
I know that might sound a little arrogant.
No, it doesn't at all.
Right.
I'm kind of proud of me too. So
I'm very proud of the work I've done, and I'm not talking about the contracts and the money part of it, but the work I've done to become the person I am. So I have this belief now, or this saying, that life is what you make of it. Mm-hmm. What are you making of your life?
Are you asking me, or is that a rhetorical question?
It's a rhetorical question. Yeah, I don't want you to answer it. But
long pause there.
But I have this saying because it's really about me. I've come to realize life is what you make of it, and it's a story that's unfolding day by day. There is no prescription. There is no script to this.
Right.
It's exactly what you make of it. So the question is, what are you making of your life? And for me, it's I'm living more fully as me.
Authentically.
Yeah.
Cool. So is there anything you've got coming up, perhaps in June, that you wanted to talk about?
You mean like spark the change? I have lots of stuff coming up. So I'm putting together a workshop for leaders, and which actually means anybody could attend, because I believe we're all leaders.
Right.
In
and it's
life.
not like everybody gets a first place ribbon, but everybody has an opportunity to be a leader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there won't be any of those big vulnerable moments like you just described.
Yeah. So fond of those.
Right. It's not that kind of workshop, but it's to teach some of these skills to leaders, to create some awareness, to create some awakening amongst leaders that we cannot continue to go through life partly shut down.
Can't unplug that human part of the brain.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you want to be successful in life and business, you have to allow you and the people you're leading to step fully into themselves.
Very true. Very true.
So I have a workshop coming up about with that. Don't have a date, unfortunately, at the moment.
But it's coming.
It's coming soon. And then in June, Spark the Change. It's coming.
Which is exciting. So Spark the Change is a 2-day conference. And this is the second year that Mike and I have worked on the same team for this. And it's aimed specifically at changing the people in charge of organizations. It's basically about changing their mind and opening them up to the opportunity to understand the value of their employees, to manage them differently, to be proactive in supporting and encouraging change and diversity and different thought. We don't have to all think like robots. So that's www.sparkthechange.ca. And where can they find you?
At Spark the Change?
No, Smarty Pants in general.
www.mikeedwards.ca.
That's
3 E's. There's 3 E's. Mikey.
Which, and your information, I'll have that on my website and stuff too.
Beautiful.
So thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
I think we are gonna push away from across the desk. I don't know how to end that properly, but anyway.
These chairs don't have wheels.
They don't have wheels, so we're not gonna whee. Yeah, I don't need a WSIB thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us. It's Across the Desk with Elizabeth Plouffe, and today my guest was Mike Edwards. And again, www.mikeeedwards.com or .ca.
Either one would work.
Well, you redirected. Oh, look at
Yeah.
you. Swanky pants. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.